Hello, skeptics and believers, and welcome to Batboy Lives, the unofficial podcast for the weekly world news, a show in which we explore the weird world around us. My name is Tristan, and with me is my associate, Mike.
Hello.
So, obviously, this show is inspired by the old tabloid, the Weekly World News. For anybody who doesn't remember or just never saw it, the Weekly World News was a tabloid that was popular back in the 80s and 90s for printing completely outlandish headlines. Mike, you and I both remember being kids back in the 90s and seeing just these wacky stories about Bigfoot and aliens.
Yeah, I miss it.
For me personally, I remember getting really freaked out every time Batboy was on the cover.
It is a pretty creepy looking image, especially if you're really little or something. But
I found out a couple months back that there's still a website for the Weekly World News. They don't really publish as often as they used to. They haven't really published anything since April, I think.
Huh.
But I just wanted this podcast to fill a hole in the world that was left behind by the Weekly World News. Yeah, I feel like the way our world is now, we really need the type of weird news that this tabloid would print.
Yeah.
With just how divisive politics are, we just really need new stories about aliens dating celebrities just to take our minds off of just all this crap going on. And don't get me wrong, tabloids still exist, but they're all just about politics or about celebrities.
Yeah, boring.
And that's just kind of boring to me. Like I don't care about celebrities unless they're getting it on with Sasquatch.
I was literally just about to say unless they're getting abducted or something.
Yeah, and it's especially in our political climate, we kind of need it's something so weird. I mean, we have The Onion, but that's more like satire, right? Like they don't try to pass off this wild, insane idea and make it pretend it's truth.
Onion kind of skirts the line. They try to make you say is this real kind of thing, but Weekly World News just takes the dial and just cranks it all the way obviously fake and just absurd. But
with Weekly World News, it's just it's fun. It's about aliens. Most people won't take it seriously, and the type of people who will take it seriously are generally, I feel pretty benign.
I mean, I'm looking at the just image search of Weekly World News, and just first photos of heaven. It's obviously, I mean, even if you believe in heaven, you're gonna be wait a second.
And when it does get into politics, it's usually in the lens of Hillary Clinton adopting an alien, or there's one fun one where Hillary Clinton had an affair with an alien, so Bill Clinton got into a fight with this alien.
They fought over Hillary Clinton.
yeah, no, he totally got into a barroom brawl with an alien because of this affair, and that's the sort of thing that I enjoy.
You did thanks to my
It's political, but it's not divisive. Like anybody on both sides of the aisle can laugh at that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's so obviously fake. It's just chuckle. Yeah, gay aliens found in UFO wreck. I mean, that's gold right there.
Right? That's something anybody can laugh at. I mean, in our day and age, if you post that headline, somebody's going to turn it political, but still, it's still pretty fun. All right, so let's hop into this. The Weekly World News was founded by a man named Generoso Pope Jr., which, to me, that's an insane name.
That's the most, I never heard Generoso. Is it Generoso or Generoso?
I might be mispronouncing it. It's Generoso. Okay. He's, super Italian, right?
Okay, I was about to say, that sounds like a pretty Italian name there.
To me, that kind of sounds like a fake name. I mean, I don't want to, point fingers, but that sounds kind of fake.
I'm sure it's almost obscure names, English, we don't hear any, Herberts anymore or anything, so maybe it's just an uncommon Italian name.
Yeah, or the last name Pope. I guess that's a legitimate last name, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much crap about him because he had a weird history with the mob.
Oh, okay.
Or his whole life he had allegations that he was running with the mob. Not he wasn't a mobster, but he had ties with mobsters.
Yeah.
So people were assuming that he was part of the mob.
Didn't he take a loan from a mob guy to start National Enquirer or something?
That's what's speculated. It wasn't to start the National Enquirer. Oh yeah, it was the National Enquirer. I'm sorry. He bought the National Enquirer in 1952 for $75,000.
Well, right there's a red flag if you're getting loans from a mob guy to buy something out. I mean, so I guess Weekly World News and National Enquirer is front confirmed.
And the interesting thing is, the National Enquirer is still going, but the Weekly World News isn't really, which kind of bums me out, because the National Enquirer, I feel I don't want to read about, Angelina Jolie doing whatever she's doing, I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's bottom of the barrel, gossip stuff. It's why even read this? Just give me Weekly World News, man.
Honestly, I can't find a lot of history about Generoso Pope. There's just not a lot of information about his life, but what little I can find reminds me of Tommy Wiseau. He's just this weird dude that kind of comes out of nowhere with a bunch of money and nobody really knows why.
From Europe makes a terribly something that's so bad it's good.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Maybe this is Tommy Wiseau's dad or something.
That would explain a lot.
Oh hi, Batboy.
I, there's not a lot of information out there, so I kind of had to rely on Wikipedia, which I don't like to do, but I didn't really have much choice.
Yeah, I don't think people be lying too much about Weekly World News. I don't think it's something people will be contesting.
I mean, they could be
over.
just in the spirit of Weekly World News. Like, let's just put some insane shit on the Weekly World News wiki.
That's true.
One of my favorite things that I found on Wikipedia was that there's this unsourced claim that he worked for the CIA's Psychological Warfare Unit in 1950, which, like, that sounds like full on like Red Scare shit.
It's like weren't they like messing around with like psyop stuff, like us in Russia, like seeing if like psychics is really a
Yeah, they were
thing,
doing
or...
a lot of crazy stuff back then.
What was that movie called, like Men That Stare at Goats or something, kind of like that?
Oh,
where, like,
yeah.
it's just they're seeing if they can use psychic weapons. I'm sorry. Can he lift something with his mind, or see something through a wall, or...
Yeah, little known fact, that movie is about Generoso Pope Jr.
Really?
No, I'm just making shit up.
I was like,
That's what we do around here. We make shit up for fun.
I have to watch the movie now. Got me tricked here, man.
Yeah, so there's rumors of his whole life that he was working with the mob, and I mean, with a name like that, just based on the name alone, you tell me like, oh, this guy's named Generoso Pope Jr., and I'm like, yeah, that's a mobster. Like, it's just in my mind, that's a mobster. And the interesting thing, he's described as a media mogul. You don't hear people described as moguls anymore.
Yeah.
Like, how does one become a mogul?
Yeah, every time I hear moguls, like, especially media mogul, I always think of, like, something in the 40s or...
No, I mean, this was, old-timey, so
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, and I find it interesting that, like, there's not a lot of information about somebody who is so prominent in, like, the print industry.
Maybe just kept a private life, and plus, I mean, this is back before, internet, social media, and all this stuff.
Yeah. So. Most of the information I could find was either from Wikipedia or interviews with his son. Like, a lot of, like, I looked at, like, the Wikipedia sources, and, like, a lot of it was, like, his son talking about Generoso Pope.
Okay.
So it's like, from third-hand sources, but still, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
When I Googled Generoso Pope, it pulls up his son a lot. He likes to sue people. So, I don't want to, like, put us in danger of being sued, but he
allegedly...
Well, I mean, I found an article about Generoso Pope Jr.'s son suing Generoso Pope's widow over money issues.
Yeah.
Because apparently Generoso Pope left an inheritance for his children and for his widow.
Okay.
And his son, like, blew through the entire inheritance. Like, he just, like, it's gone, like,
dang.
he doesn't have any more of that money. So he sued his mother to get some of her money.
What?
So, like, he ran out of his money. So he's like, oh, well, that's my money for, I don't know. Like, I was reading this article and just being like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, why would you sue your own mother for money
it's also,
like that?
You can't manage your own money, so it's just kind of this weird, I ran out of money, give me yours.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she did screw him over somehow. I don't really know. I don't know the whole information. I just saw this one article and it blew my mind. Like, so I just imagine this guy had, like, kind of a wild life that we don't really know much about. I feel like you have to have an interesting life to start something like this. Like, I don't know if this was a thing that was really going around before, because there's other magazines that do the same thing, but I couldn't find anything about, like, who was first.
How many copies is, like, Weekly World News selling? Because, I mean, I saw like in every grocery store as a kid growing up, and...
At its peak in the 80s, it got to, like, 1.2 million per
really?
issue. Yeah, like, it got really big in the 80s.
I mean, could you think about, like, I can totally see this business model working, because, I mean, you have to have, like, no journalists, because it's all just fake stuff. You just have people sit around and write articles. It's black and white, so you don't have to worry about color printing.
Yeah.
And, it's just on this, like, flimsy paper material you just throw out every week, and you charge, what, $2 was it for one or something? Yeah, I mean, you just make, just it's pure profit almost, because there's so many expenses you don't have to do. You just have one guy doing all this, and then in the art each week it wasn't that big. It was, I don't know how many pages each one was, like, what, 30?
Yeah, maybe
less than that.
Like, they weren't terribly long.
And a lot of them were, like, pictures and ads and all that stuff, so, like, all magazines are.
You don't have to pay, like, actual reporters, so you don't have that expense, you just got people making up stories, which, like, it's a pretty genius model, I think.
Yeah, I imagine just hire a writer, like, here, write me 1,000 fake articles and I'll give you a bunch of money. Yeah, I mean, none of this stuff is, like, super creative also. It's just, like, I'm sure there's throwing darts at a dartboard, like, Batboy, Saddam, blah.
They went over a lot of themes pretty consistently. Like, a lot of things show up over and over again. You see a lot of, like, first picture of heaven kind of stuff, where you see a lot of Bigfoot or aliens. You know, it's like a lot of stuff. They kind of it gets a little bit repetitive, honestly.
I mean, it's just like surface level paranormal stuff, you know, just like aliens, angels, demons, ghosts, maybe, you know, just stuff like most people think about when you talk about paranormal.
Yeah.
But we do have Clinton Hires three-breasted intern, so I guess that got that going also.
The Clintons apparently got into some wacky stuff back in the day.
Yeah, I just love all the Clinton-based.
Which is interesting because tabloids today still focus a lot on Hillary Clinton, but it's more on like the political like scandal side and not like the alien affair side, you know? Which I want to hear more about the alien affairs. I don't care about the politics right now.
She had all those other scandals to help cover up the alien affair.
Right.
She had to go deep. She had to sacrifice big. Oh, but an alien backs Clinton. I'm reading another article here, so maybe they work it out. You know, the guy's like, hey, man.
Well, it's interesting. They do that a lot. There's a lot of like, so-and-so backs this political candidate. Batboy has gone all over the charts on political candidates, which is a lot of fun to keep track of. I'm excited to get into that. I want to dig into his history of the wacky stuff he's gotten into, because he's backed a lot of different politicians over the years.
Oh, he's been all over the place, man.
All right, so Weekly World News was launched in 1979 when National Enquirer switched to the color printer, and Generoso Pope wanted to keep using the black and white press, so he came up with this idea to use the black and white. While National Enquirer switched over, he managed to like kind of save money, I guess. I mean, not even really save money. It's just
it makes sense. Just black and white. I'm sure printing is a lot less expensive than color printing.
Yeah, and I imagine he didn't want to throw away this black and white press when he can still get some use out of it.
That's smart plan.
Yeah, I mean, this guy had to be pretty smart for all this. Like, he did some weird stuff, but he had to be pretty smart. It peaked in popularity, like I said, in the 80s at 1.2 million sales per issue. I think in 2006 they reported they're only selling like 80,000 per issue. So like,
oh wow,
yeah, it's a huge difference. I feel like if they made a comeback now, I feel like they could really go somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what the owner's planning on doing, because, like I said, they haven't made anything on their website since April. I even checked their Twitter, like, they don't even post anything anymore. So one thing they did, like a lot of newspapers, they had like regular columns. So there's the most popular column, I think, was called Ed Anger, which is like an opinion piece.
Okay.
And it's just this guy like writing just angry stuff, which I can get into. There was a relationship advice column called Hi Dolly, where people would write in and like she'd give relationship advice, kind of like like Dear Anne, I think it's called.
Dear Abby, I think it was.
Dear Abby, yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then there's like a regular advice column called Dear Babs, and later it was replaced with Dear Dottie. There was a medical advice column called Horse Sense, and I saw a picture of this. I think it has like a picture of a horse doctor. And then they had a psychic called Madame Melissa, or I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's spelled weird. It's Malisa.
Melissa?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a psychic column. One notable thing is that in 1989 they printed real photos of Ted Bundy's autopsied body.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The managing editor at the time, Eddie Klontz, said that he hoped it would deter other murderers, which I guess is kind of a noble idea.
I mean, guess, or get a lot of people to buy your paper, but
yeah, I mean, honestly, like scandals, like huge things like that sell newspapers, you know. So yeah, it's shady and it's sketchy, but it's smart business sense.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything about the newspaper itself getting in trouble, but there was an employee of the medical examiner's office who was arrested and charged with taking and selling the photos.
Huh.
Yeah, so I mean,
maybe do a little bit. Maybe I'll dig around a little bit of research on the trial.
See if they got in trouble or something.
Yeah, just any details we can bring up again.
In 1996, they tried to launch a TV show. They got this news anchor who's actually a respected NBC news anchor named Edwin Newman.
Really? To
host it. It didn't last very long. It failed really quick.
Well, what's the show? It's like a normal news show, but using the Weekly World News articles instead of instead of kitten stuck in tree, it's Batboy stuck in tree.
Yeah, I imagine that must have been what it was. I couldn't find a lot of information on it. To be fair, I didn't really look very close for information.
Yeah.
I'm reading a review. They had a thing about live footage of Batboy. I need to see if I can find this show because that sounds rad. It's just kind of cool that they try to do a TV show and they got a real news anchor, an actual respected news man.
That is pretty funny.
So like I'd said, the Weekly World News was owned by American Media, and they also own National Enquirer, and I think they own some other tabloids.
Okay.
In 1999, it was bought by a man named David Pecker, which is an unfortunate name. Many of the old staff left the paper over the next couple of years, many of whom had been there for 20 years.
Oh, that sucks.
So this guy bought it, and I imagine he must have just run it so poorly that the people just left.
Yeah.
In the mid 2000s, there was this trend of tabloids rebranding themselves as all new or bigger, bolder, and better.
More flavor, but less calories.
So Weekly World News jumped on this bandwagon, and they added a whole bunch of stuff. They added comic strips. They added a weird picture search, which was drawn by the Mad Magazine artist Sergio Aragones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like they had like actual people, like well-known people working on this. They added trivia and jokes. They added this character that I had to mention because it's really offensive.
Oh no, what is it?
It's called Misadventure, the gayest American hero.
Oh.
So it was about this male hairstylist, this gay male hairstylist who would go on like crazy adventures. Yeah, it's just like something like that would not fly today, you know, like.
Oh no. I mean, what year would this come out again in?
In the mid 2000s, so like 2004 maybe. So I found two headlines featuring Misadventure. One of them is Lost and Found on Giggling Island, and the other is Hard Luck on Giggling Island.
Is this like the Giggling Island saga, or is this every episode happens always take place on?
It might have just been like the Giggling Island saga. This is one of those things like I love Weekly World News, but that's one of those things that can be left in the past.
It sounds like they're kind of like trying to be Mad Magazine a little bit in a way.
Yeah, they're getting kind of wacky with it. At this point, they added in a disclaimer, like, you know, not to take this seriously. So, like, I feel like they kind of took that as a license just to get even weirder than they were before.
Yeah, or I'm sure some lawsuit came out where they had to, like, put stuff on there like, this isn't real, you know.
Because the Sun did that, and so, like, they did it too, I guess. So their main competitor, which I just mentioned, is the Sun. They abandoned their weird stories in the mid 2000s, and so that left Weekly World News to be one of the only papers publishing stories about supernatural weird stuff.
Huh. Well, yeah, it kind of cornered the market there.
But unfortunately, in 2006, their sales were as low as 83,000 per issue, so they ceased publication in 2007. After that, the Sun was still going, so the Sun started printing a Weekly World News section in there.
They had to bend the knee to the Sun.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but kind of poetic, I guess, in a way.
I mean, at least they got to continue on.
And that lasted until 2012 when the Sun shut down.
Because they took in Weekly World News.
Well, there's not a lot of demand for tabloids, you know?
But there's a Weekly World News website, though, right?
Yeah. In 2009, Weekly World News was bought by Neil McGuinness, who, like I said, was from National Lampoon, and he launched the website in 2009, basically saving the brand. There's comic books published by IDW. I'm not sure if it's the same comics that they printed in their older issues, like in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
It's something I want to look into because they look like they're fun.
It is like comedy comics about like aliens, or I'm not really sure what kind of comics. I mean, it's a comic book, of course, but like, what's it about?
I imagine it was like a comics of the stories they printed. So like, there's a comic about like the adventures of Batboy, and so like just like different stuff, like stuff they printed about as a comic, basically.
Oh man, I want to see the Clinton fight the alien over Hillary comic. That's what I want to see. I just want to see Bill Clinton and an alien, like a gray alien, just duke it out over Hillary. It's like, you take that back.
In 2010, they posted on their website a story about the LAPD buying jetpacks, and the best part of this. The best part is Fox and Friends ran the story. Like Fox and Friends was like, oh, that's a real story, let's run it.
Oh, like dead.
And so, like,
they were dead serious running the story.
Yeah, the dead serious. Like Fox and Friends thought this was like a serious thing
gosh.
that the LAPD was doing. Like, okay, jetpacks don't exist. Like that's not technology that is like feasible.
No. I mean, it exists, but yeah, it's like you said, it's not feasible.
I saw that, and it was kind of like a facepalm moment. Like what the hell are you thinking? Like, why would you believe that? I imagine somebody had to get fired over that, right? Like,
I imagine so. It's that's crazy. They didn't look up at the URL or something on the website.
Yeah.
See Weekly World News.
Twice the Weekly World News reported that Facebook would be shutting down. I think they reported that in 2011 and then again in 2012. And so many people believed it that Facebook officials had to like make an announcement about it. So like people were believing this so much that like Facebook had to step in and be like, no, this isn't true.
Pretty sure Zuckerberg's an alien. So
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't reported on. I mean, they might have reported on him.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if Weekly World News existed today, I'm pretty sure they had to be talking about Zuckerberg, like of course Trump, like all this time they've been talking about like Obama. Like they had a little bit I saw with like Saddam and Osama bin Laden, because I'm running through mid 2000s. But yeah, we could have gotten more stuff. We got stuff about like North Korea, Kim Jong-il, and
Oh, you mentioned Saddam. There's an article about Batboy leading the troops to like find Saddam.
Nice.
So like according to them, like when they found him in his little bunker thing, like that was Batboy.
That was Batboy pointed into him. So he's a menace, but every once in a while he is a patriot.
Yeah.
I guess he's an anti-hero. But we'll probably talk more about him on the Batboy.
Yeah, we're going to have an episode about Batboy. I know that's going to require a lot of research, but I'm really excited to dig into that. I'm also really excited to dig into like their website, because I imagine they had to have run articles on Obama, right?
Oh yeah.
In the 90s, they talked about the Clintons because Bill Clinton was president, right? Yeah, I haven't dug too deep on the website, but they have like 10 years of articles to go through.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we have that trove to dig through. But it'd be cool to get the old paper ones if possible.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go through eBay, and whenever I find stuff for cheap, I'm gonna buy some.
And I guess if when we release this and anyone's listening, hey, if you got articles you want to sell to us or give to us or whatever, just I don't know, find a way to. I guess we'll eventually make an email or something to contact us.
Yeah, we'll have like social media and stuff that we can be contacted on. We don't have that yet, but we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have like a semi-active Twitter. The cool thing about their Twitter is they post like old headlines. Like they'll have the title of the headline and then an Instagram link, and so you click on the link and it'll show you like the headline that was in the link. So it's like they're posting their old content, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's kind of cool, because I mean, even if we just see the front cover, we can talk a few minutes about just the idea of
Yeah.
Loch Ness found in swimming pool or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like an example is like there was one in all caps. It says alien big game hunters gun down our dinosaurs. # Weekly World News. # Hunter. # big game hunting. # dinosaurs. # big guns, etc. But they haven't posted anything since April. I really hope Neil McGinnis has like some big plans, and that's why they haven't been posting anything.
It'd be funny though, like if they didn't touch anything for a year, and I could just walk in like, "Hey man, I'll give you like $2,000 for Weekly World News website."
So the Weekly World News has left a pretty big cultural impact, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're obvious, like their spiritual successor, I guess, would be like the Onion. They're kind of reminiscent of Weekly World News.
Yeah.
They make absurd articles. The Onion is more satirical in tone, and it covers more, I guess, real world stuff. Like it's not so much paranormal, you know. They take normal stuff and make it absurd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like talking about politicians and whatnot.
I couldn't find a lot of media stuff, like stuff of them being mentioned in like movies and stuff. There's like a scene in Men in Black where Tommy Lee Jones is like reading a tabloid and he tells Will Smith like, "Oh, this is where we get our real news," kind of thing. I don't watch Supernatural, but I guess they had an episode about Weekly World News in season 2.
Really?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool, I guess. In the cartoon Gravity Falls, in the intro, there's an image of Batboy. So like it shows like a bunch of like Polaroids, and one of them is Batboy. I have a list of recurring characters and subjects. The main one being Batboy. I mean, there's not really like, you don't really need an introduction for Batboy,
yeah, he's
right?
Like half man, half bat. I mean, I guess half boy, half bat, I guess.
The funny thing that entertains me to no end about Batboy is like, since 1992, they haven't really shown him aging. Like, it's the same picture every time.
Well, maybe he's an adult, but he just looks like a child. Cause, his big eyes on and stuff, so we just assume he's a boy. He's got like the Gary Coleman of cryptids.
It's just something like I noticed, and I thought it was so weird. Like for 20 years, he's being depicted like looking exactly the same. Which maybe he's like immortal. I don't know.
Maybe the bat stuff is some vampire action going on. So.
One of the biggest things that they posted about was alive! ! They would cover stories about dead celebrities and claim that they're alive. The most notable one is Elvis,
of course.
But they also covered people like JFK, Hank Williams, Marilyn Monroe, and Hitler.
Oh, jeez.
They officially declared Elvis dead in 1994. I think they killed him off like via diabetes.
Weekly World News made it official that Elvis is dead, and it was like, nah, man, it's over.
Yeah,
we're calling it.
But then they posted about him again a few years
dang, it's
later.
like a comic book, man.
So like in like 1997, he was back.
It makes sense because the Weekly World News comic, usually they'll have to kill a character, they're gone for like a year or two, and then boom, they're back.
Yeah. Another one is World's Fattest, which is another thing that wouldn't roll today. It would detail the world's fattest animals and people. I guess the most popular one was Tanya, the world's fattest cat, who was 80 pounds.
Yeesh.
My cat is like 20 pounds? I can't imagine a cat being 80 pounds. Like, that's...
I think realistically, the heaviest cat was like 40, I want to say. 80-pound cat. I'm sure the picture is just some like blown up Photoshop picture of a cat.
Absolutely. They covered Tanya being adopted and possibly sat on by the world's fattest woman. It's just imagine being like the world's fattest woman and being like, I'm gonna buy the world's fattest cat. Like, why would you want to surround yourself with that? Like, you want to escape that image, not embrace it, I feel like.
I guess you can relate more to the world's fattest cat more or something. You can.
They reported on Tanya, the fattest cat, trying to lose weight via the Catkins diet. This was back when Atkins was like super popular, right?
Yeah.
And Tanya was reportedly eaten by the world's thinnest woman. Which is okay. How is that a metric? Like, how do you decide like who the world's thinnest woman is? I feel like that's harder to judge than like the fattest person.
I mean, also, I guess you just go by weight or maybe like BMI or something.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They reported on religion and biblical relics a lot. They reported finding relics like Noah's Ark. They found the Garden of Eden.
Oh, dang.
Which is apparently in Colorado? Like, thank goodness it's in America.
Hell yeah.
They found the sandals that Jesus wore.
How did they figure that out? Was it in the tomb where he's buried? And it's like, hey, some sandals.
Don't ask me. I haven't actually read the article. I saw a headline. They reported on pictures of Satan's face in thunderstorms, smoke, or just floating above the U.S. Capitol.
I bet that could just be like a well-timed shot.
No, it was definitely like Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Like I saw the picture of it. They took a picture of like the U.S. Capitol and then like they superimposed like a cloud above it and put Satan's face in the cloud.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the cloud was like shaped like a skull or something.
I'm not sure if they reported on the Satan's face in the smoke from the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah, I was about to mention that because I remember seeing like the face thing.
I remember seeing the picture. I just don't remember if it was Weekly World News that reported on that or if that was just like a viral kind of thing.
I think it was just a viral thing, I want to say.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything definitive. Bigfoot was another large thing they reported on. My favorite headlines was I was Bigfoot's love slave and Bigfoot kept a lumberjack as a love slave.
You know, there is a Bigfoot erotic novels out there.
Thanks, I hate it.
I don't know. If we ever do the Bigfoot episode, I'll bring it up when we mention the Love Slave episode again.
They also detailed his diet. He lost 150 pounds, which is pretty incredible.
Wait, Sasquatch?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know
like they totally like detailed his diet regimen.
I guess he hit it really well. I thought he's just a muscular dude, but I guess yeah, he had some pounds to drop. Or did he just shave himself and that was like 150 pounds?
No, I think he actually like dropped the weight.
Oh wow, is he like just super skinny? Is he sick? I need info, Tristan. You can't just tell me this stuff. And I'm worried now about Bigfoot.
One day we'll do a Bigfoot episode and we'll talk about like how he lost the weight.
Sounds good.
And also in 2008, Hillary Clinton picked Bigfoot as her running mate, which maybe that's why she lost in 2008. You know, they reported about aliens a lot of alien stuff. You know, aliens dumping trash on the moon, aliens keeping track of the war in the Middle East. Hillary Clinton adopted an alien baby, which was before she ran for president with Bigfoot. We mentioned the love affair with aliens and Hillary. Why would she adopt a baby if she's having a love affair with aliens?
Maybe she can't get pregnant by one, but she really wants an alien baby. You know, she's like, man, I've been around these aliens so much. I just love to have an alien child of my own I can raise. And then, the alien's like, yeah, sure, we got some orphan alien you can have. Or we grew this one in the lab. You can have it. We're not doing anything with it. Our gift to you.
Oh, yeah, there you go. They published multiple issues about U.S. senators being aliens.
I could believe that. That could be. There's some truth probably behind there.
Anywhere between 5 and 12 senators at any point were aliens.
Could be. Seems like it. Not this day and age, yeah.
I personally believe that the number is higher than 12 now.
You just turn on any news network and watch it for 10 minutes and you guys like, yep, everyone's an alien. This is I need my escape pod.
Aliens have met with various politicians like Ross Perot or Bill Clinton, which, I mean, I feel like that's plausible, right? Like, when you become president, you learn all these secrets, so you're probably going to talk to an alien.
I'm also shocked how public these meetings are. I'm looking at some of these article heads, and you just got, like, an alien shaking hands with Clinton, and then shaking hands with Bush, and then, 2 seconds later, they'll deny the existence of UFO and aliens. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. It blows my mind. I mean, it's politician stuff. They make no sense.
There was a recurring alien character named Plod, who is the alien that Hillary had an affair with and that Bill Clinton fought. Yeah, his name was Plod.
Oh, dang. He's an actual character?
Yeah, he showed up a lot in Weekly World News. Like, he's a recurring character.
Oh, that's my boy.
They talked about cryptids a lot, of course. They talked about mermaids. They showed, like, mermaids getting caught in fishing nets. One of my favorite articles about mermaids was a mini mermaid found in a tuna sandwich. And it shows a guy holding, like, a sandwich and, like, holding up a tiny little mermaid. Like, something that could fit in your palm. They discovered a mermaid cemetery.
That's kind of cool.
They talked about sea serpents a lot, like washing ashore. They covered multiple stories about the Loch Ness Monster, who was sold. The Loch Ness Monster had a baby, and then they covered the Loch Ness Monster dying.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that's really sad. Like, I think it was towards the end of their run, so, like, I feel like they just kind of killed off a lot of characters.
Try to bring in those readers just by killing off everyone. Might as well.
You don't want to hear about the Loch Ness Monster dying. Like, that's sad. But, I mean, I guess the Loch Ness Monster had a baby, so, like, the legend lives on.
Exactly. I wonder, like, how many exact issues they printed.
I don't know. I couldn't find a number on that. Like, I wanted to find, like, a list of issues, but, I mean, if they printed every week for 30 years... So yeah, you can find them on eBay. So like I was looking through eBay a lot of issues, but they range from anywhere from like $5 to like $20.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the one I bought was like $6. Like it was $12 after shipping.
Hey, those could be worth money down the road. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. I'm fully expecting the Postal Service to just destroy it, though.
I mean, yeah, it's just newspaper essentially, or.
So, just to take up a little bit more time, I wanted to talk about some of the wacky headlines I found.
You give the people a taste, of what's out there.
What to expect. One of my favorites was Fat Cat owns 23 old ladies.
What? Wait, see...
Yeah, this cat owns old ladies, apparently.
Okay, so see, this is the thing. I mean, obviously, it's like a reverse crazy... Well, it's not cat lady, but a crazy feline person? I don't know what to call it. They call it someone that collects cat ladies. But I want to know how he collects people.
I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if it's Tanya, the world's fattest cat.
Could be.
Because it doesn't say... I only saw the headline. I didn't see the article. So, I mean, for all I know, it could be Tanya.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I'm pretty sure some of those old ladies are like, I'm not listening to you. And the cat's like, oh, really? And then just eats her. And then...
Or the cat has mind control?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Another one was Alien Bible found. They worship Oprah. Which is like, why would they... Oprah of all people?
Well, then also, like,
why wouldn't they have their own alien god?
How old is the religion? How old is Oprah? Yeah, because Oprah been around for, like, thousands of years, and...
That's a very terrifying idea.
That would be hilarious. Like, you go back to their home planet, it's just Oprah. She looks exactly the same. She's doing the same show, but just to an audience of just a bunch of aliens, and she's giving out these weird, I don't know, like, look under your seat, you got some glib glob, like, oh my gosh. And all these...
Another one is Abominable Beach Man strikes terror in Hawaii.
Abominable Beach Man?
Yeah, that's my new favorite cryptid, is the Abominable Beach Man.
I'm just imagining some, like, fat dude in some really, like, gaudy, tacky shorts with, like, way too much sunscreen, like, on his nose, just...
It would be like the tropical version of, like, the Yeti, I feel like.
I guess, yeah, it could be like a shaved Yeti.
Cuba launches shark attack on the U.S.
Oh, man, that's...
I like that. I love that idea of, like, training sharks. I feel like that's, like, an actual thing that happened, or they tried to do.
It was dolphins. They're training dolphins. Alert, like, if someone's trying to, like, sneak underneath the boat and try to plant explosives.
Dolphins make sense.
Yeah.
Like, they're smart animals. But, like, training a shark, I feel like you can't train a shark.
When you say Cuba, like, shark attack, I just imagine it's like the Cuba Missile Crisis. Just, like, a bunch of, like, shark missiles flying into the air towards America.
The missile crisis was a cover so the sharks could get to us.
We were looking at the skies, and this whole time we should have been looking at the ocean. That's how we lost the Bay of Pigs.
And the last one I have is, it's one that I remember seeing, like, I have distinct memories of this one.
Really?
It's man's 174 mile per hour sneeze blows wife's hair off. I have really strong memories of this because it's like this really poorly done Photoshop job of a woman, like, with the top of her head, like, completely bald, but she still has, like, the back of her hair, so she's got, like, this awful bald mullet kind of thing going on.
So it only takes 174 mile an hour force of, like, wind to knock your hair off?
I don't know. Maybe she was, like, leprous?
I guess when you're old, your hair falls out easier or something, but, like...
Yeah, I feel like this says a lot more about her skin condition than about the man's sneeze.
When you said she was missing, like, something, I was expecting you saying she was missing, like, the top half of her head or something.
Oh, no, it's just like they like edited on a bald cap onto this woman. All right, so that's about as much as I have about the Weekly World News.
Okay, give us a taste of the Weekly World News.
Yeah, just give you a good idea what it's about.
What's the website of the Weekly World News? Is it just weeklyworldnews.com?
I believe it's just weeklyworldnews.com.
All right, people could check it out and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's still around. Neil McGuinness is still running it. I mean, they don't update as much as I would like them to. It'd
be hilarious, like, if we started, like, giving them coverage, and all of a sudden, like, man, why is our, like, subscription count going up? And I just realized, like, oh, these two idiots are talking about us.
So that'd be really cool. Oh, Lord. I went to their website, and one of the featured articles was World's Biggest Butt. It's 5 feet 3 inches wide.
Sir makes a lot of proofs.
Like, take that, Cardi B. Please don't sue me.
Well, then, was the world's thinnest woman's gonna eat the lady's butt or something?
It's 2019. We're eating asses now.
That's what all the kids are doing nowadays, I guess. So
everybody's eating booty. So let's move on to the cryptid of the week. My original idea for this podcast was to talk about cryptids, but then I found out that was done to death. But I still want to talk about cryptids. Like,
why not?
Like, even though there's like a million podcasts about cryptids, I still want to cover cryptids, right?
Yeah.
So this week's cryptid I decided was going to be the Loveland Frogman. I learned about it just last night, and I fell in love with this idea.
Okay, this is the first time I've heard about it, and I noticed these cryptids, there's like a theme where it's like the something where it's from something man, or the creature, like, yeah, like the Jersey Devil. Yeah, I guess Mothman Prophecies is a little bit different to the formula, but it's always like some kind of, has that kind of name.
Well, even Mothman is still like a localized being, like it's from West Virginia, from Point Pleasant. Each state has like their own cryptid, I feel like. Yeah. And Ohio's, I guess, is the Loveland Frogman. Apparently, like, the Native Americans had this this lore of like a river demon that they told the settlers about, and that kind of grew in like the settlers' mind. My favorite account of the Loveland Frogman is from the 1950s, where this guy, there's a lot of different versions of the story, but it's always like a weary traveler, like a traveling salesman kind of guy, I guess. So he sees these three men who are like they're half frog, half men, and so that freaks him out. Like, not only are they frogmen, they're holding like wands. Like, I'm not 100% on the story, like, but they're holding like sparkling wands. And he's like, well, that's all I could see before I ran away screaming. And there's been other reports throughout the years. Like, there's one in the 70s where these two cops claimed they saw it.
Really?
They've since changed their minds on it. They're saying like that wasn't the frogman, that was like an iguana or something. Yeah.
I thought you were saying like a homeless person. No, it's something that's just small and...
God, that would be so messed up, though.
Well, how big are these frogmen supposed to be?
Roughly 4 feet.
Okay. So yeah, if you see an iguana, how do you think that's like the frogman prophecies or whatever?
I guess iguanas must get really big.
I guess. I don't know. Do they walk around and carry wands? Or I mean...
Yeah, I don't know what the wands are. That's so weird.
Do the frogmen walk around on 2 legs? Oh, they shaped like humanoid shaped, I guess I'm trying to say.
They're humanoid shaped. They're like half man, half frog.
Okay.
There's 2 reasons why I love this cryptid so much. I found out about it last night, and it's now like my top 5 favorite cryptids. In 2014, somebody wrote a musical called Hot Damn, It's a Loveland Frog.
What?
It's like a bluegrass musical, and like this show sold out. Like, every night they played it sold out.
Huh.
I love this idea of making a musical about a cryptid. The second reason why I love this so much is because in 2016, this one guy claimed that he saw the Loveland Frogman while he was playing Pokemon Go with his girlfriend.
Found the ultimate Pokemon out there, man.
When he reported it to the news, like, he's like, oh yeah, I saw a Frogman, but it wasn't in the game. Like,
oh, damn.
And he got pictures of this creature, and he took like a video, but it's really bad. So the Loveland Frogman's supposed to be like 4 feet tall. Yeah. This thing that he took a picture of doesn't look like it's 4 feet tall. It looks like it's maybe a foot. I just want to say right now, like, I love cryptid hoaxes. Like, if you can disprove the cryptid, like, for some reason that makes me just love it even more. like I'd say my favorite cryptid is Batboy, and that's so easily disproven because the creator said, yes, this is fake.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely is not a real thing. But I love hoaxes about this stuff. Like, I love it. I found a blog post. I couldn't find a lot about like disproving it, but there's one blog post where they found this like stupid it's like a frog lawn ornament, and it has these like big light up eyes on it. Don't worry about reading the article. So just look at the pictures. Like, it'll show you the pictures of the Loveland Frogman. It's like a tiny little, like, it's really grainy, but it's like this little short
cool
frog shaped blob with like super bright eyes, like headlamp eyes.
I mean, the first picture looks kind of cool.
It looks kind of cool, but then scroll down till you see the lawn ornament frog. Like, it's just this little cheesy thing that you can buy at like Big Lots, right? Like, you find these things at like Walmart, you find them at Target, like any sort of department store.
Wow.
In like the garden section, you see these, like, it's like a ceramic frog.
Yeah, just compare that first picture. It makes it look like it's humanoid. Look like it's like wading through the water, kind of.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I fully believe that this thing is just like a $20 ceramic frog that you're supposed to put in your lawn.
But yeah, that is kind of funny when they can do that. Or back in olden times, I guess they would do that with, like, ghosts. I guess like do like trick with photography and like, oh, look at all these wisps. It's ghosts.
I don't know. I love these like cheesy hoax things, like, which is part of why I love Weekly World News so much. Is just because like it's so cheesy. There's no truth to it, and it's easily disproven. But that just makes me love it more. You know.
Guess like you could say like turn off your brain journalism, I guess, or something. Just like,
yeah,
I know I'm reading, it's fake, it's purely entertainment, just like, all right, what's his name, Plod the alien, like, make me laugh.
And there's some people who like get angry at like hoaxes like this, like the Loveland Frogman, but like it doesn't bother me,
Yeah,
maybe it's because I'm not like some sort of paranormal expert or anything, and I'm not trying to like find the truth.
Yeah,
I love it. Like,
what the frogmen, do they like do anything to people? Do you like kidnap them, kill them?
Not that I've seen. They seem pretty benign. Like they just kind of hang out and wave around their little like their sparklers.
It's a little 4th of July sparkler.
So I mean, I didn't intend for the cryptid of the week thing to be like super in depth or anything. Like, I just wanted to like briefly touch on cryptids that we like. Shoot, we need a sign out thing for this. I can't think of anything. Thanks for joining us this week. And remember, Bigfoot is real and he wants to party.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everyone, Tristan here. I just wanted to make a quick addendum. When we recorded this episode, we didn't have our social media set up yet, so I just wanted to let you know that we're now on Twitter at RedactedCast, or you can find our Facebook page under the name Redacted and Expunged. Our email is unauthorizedcast@gmail.com. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.